Right then, let's talk the Children's of Alabama Indy Grand Prix. An interesting race name, but Barber itself is an interesting circuit. And whilst it did seem pretty clear cut, right? The true story of the race was anything but. Because yes, the top three were the only drivers that had laps. 90 laps this race, 79 of them Alex Palou, 10 of them Christian Lundgaard, 1 of them Graham Rahal. But whilst it was a relatively quiet race, there were still different things that were going on here and there, and in some cases everywhere. Perhaps it comes as no surprise the fact that, well, we ended up with just pretty much all the way green flag, didn't we? We had a few spins. We had 4 cars finish a lap down, the 2 RLL cars of Foster and Schumacher, the coin for Hauger, who's new to the circuit, as is Schumacher, then Stingray Rob. But all in all, there wasn't that much else to say. Like, it got interesting when the pit windows were coming around, because it wasn't exactly clear who was going to pop out where, what Palou was going to do, where Lundgaard was going to be, where Rahal was going to be. If somebody like Malukas, who was pushing through towards the end, was going to be able to catch up and pass Rahal. In the end, it was, 7/10 of a second between the two of them. But it does produce some good racing. At the same time, it's nice to have a race that's a little bit more straightforward. I don't necessarily get annoyed when a race is a little bit of a snooze fest, when you can have it on the background and do something else and just be casually following it. I think when races on average for a series are over an hour and a half, that is fine. You're going to have some in the season, especially when you have more than a dozen races on your calendar that are going to do that. This is the first real one of that for me with INDYCAR this season. F1 for me, despite the Barber and Crash Suzuka, had an entertaining start, but apart from that was quite quiet in stages. NASCAR, where you got nearly 40 races on the year, you're going to have some duds. And yeah, if this is what a dud is going to be in this INDYCAR season, let's have it. Because in terms of the championship permutations, yeah, it means that Palou has now closed the gap, the deficit he had to Kirkwood, to 2 points. And yes, it means that Kirkwood and Palou are over 30 points clear of Lundgaard in third. Lucas is in fourth, 40 points off the lead. Newgarden in fifth, 43. Then sixth, O'Ward, 50. Then rounding out the top 10, really, you've got McLaughlin, 57 out, as with Ericsson. Armstrong, 58 out, and then 71 out, Scott Dixon. And in that, you get what? Ganassi, Penske, McLaren, Andretti. So, your big names, they're all pretty high up. But it's nice to have something like this because it means that you can slowly build up the narrative. It's like if you're watching an action movie. You're not going to have action set piece, action set piece, action set piece. No, you have a bit of exposition at the start. You might have some exposition in the middle as well, depending on what kind of action movie it is. You may have we're in like the 10th movie of this franchise. Here's a character that we haven't seen since film 6. Why are they still alive? We thought they died. That is something that you're going to see in a sporting season. The kind of, yeah, this person's in the title battle. Might not be for the win, but it might be around 5th. And we can have a talk about that for a minute. Overall, I thought it was quite well put together. Didn't lose any of the broadcast this time. I think, didn't we lose a bit in Arlington? But, yeah, well put together. Nice, clean racing. Couple of moments, couple of incidents, but overall it is one of those ones that generates more commentary around the wider season than just that race in particular. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below though, folks. As always, thanks so much for watching, thanks so much for joining, thanks so much for your continued support. The next IndyCar race that we've got coming up is going to be in a couple of weeks' time. We've got Long Beach, the doubleheader with IMSA. I'll be covering both events, and then it's pretty much setting course for Indianapolis for the month of May. Right, thanks for watching, folks. Till next time, it's bye-bye for now.